Hello, Tar Heel Nation. Welcome back to another episode of UNC Hoops Talk. As always, I'm your host, Dan DeWitt, and going to jump right in here. I got kids home from school sick, laying down for naps and stuff, so I got to go through this fairly quickly, or as quickly as I can. Of course, big week here, and plenty to talk about. Of course, I couldn't let the opportunity pass itself to podcast the day after the Duke game. So here we are. We're going to jump in, have lots of fun, and of course, look forward to what's coming ahead for the Tar Heels as we start to close out ACC regular season play. So before we jump into the Duke game, of course, we got the Wake Forest game that happened over the weekend on Saturday. And not a whole lot to say about this game. We came out 18-0 to start the game. 23-3, 23-5, something like that. And we just never stopped. They obviously missed a bunch of shots. We shot really well. But we just kind of kept pushing, which has been different for the Tar Heels. Sometimes we get a lead and we've gotten sloppy and had some turnovers, which we did. We had 15 turnovers in this game, but just kept chugging along. And Cam Johnson, huge game, 27 points, shot 10 for 13 from the field, 7 for 10 from the three-point line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And like I said, I'm not even going to go through a bunch of people's stats here. Kobe and Luke had 10 points, the only other people in double figures. But we had, looks like 7th with 9, Brandon Robinson with 8, B Huff with 6, 3 or 4 guys with 5, 4, 3 in there. So, just like a really good team outing and a good way to take care of a trap game before the Duke game. And like I said on the last podcast, this one could possibly, being at Wake, it's a team we should beat. It could be a trap game looking ahead to Duke, and they didn't let that happen. They got out to a fast start, and of course, some of it to Wake Forest detriment. They shot 21% in the first half, 22% from the three-point line. For the game, they shot 33% and 17% from the three-point line. And we shot first half, we were 74% from the field, 75% from three. And for the game, we were 62% from the field, 64% from the three-point line. So we can't count on that every game, but it was really fun to watch. Nice, easy game where we didn't have a lot of stress and anxiety as fans watching the game. And like I said, just took care of business, ended up winning 95-57. Then we could move on to obviously the Duke game and all the glory that comes into that and watching that. And of course, you can go through all the statistics of how close this rivalry is. Everybody that's listening to this podcast knows about the rivalry, knows how intense it is, and knows that it is the greatest sports rivalry there is. I don't know, being a part of it, I don't think, not that I'm even officially a part of it or anything like that, but just, having seen it for as long as I have, like there's not another rivalry this intense and this close with them only 8 miles apart. So unfortunately, we get the win. Well, not unfortunately that we get the win. We get the 88-72 win. Of course, that's obviously awesome. And after halftime, we made a little run after half, and after that, it wasn't in question, but we never had it was never below 10, never below 13, 12, 13, probably around in that range. And not a complete blowout, but I think we really did dominate the game. And unfortunately, and this is what I was going to say, unfortunately, that doesn't get the headlines. The headline is all about Zion Williamson playing 37 seconds and then getting injured and not playing the rest. And so it gives Duke an excuse, supposedly, that we only won because Zion wasn't there. Obviously, we can't prove them wrong. They can't prove it right either. So that's just a bunch of hearsay, and it's the way it goes. We had 2 guys out with injuries. We had Nasir Little not playing well. I don't know if it's because of the injury or not, but we could say that, right? We said, well, we had a healthy Nasir, and if Nasir was living up to the hype that he had coming in, then it wouldn't be in question. There's a lot of what ifs, and so you can't take away from what North Carolina did last night, and as much as ESPN would like us to. Zion Williamson is driving middle against Luke May, planted hard, blew his shoe out. I'm sure you guys have seen the headline or the highlights 1,000 times. You've heard it all talked about. Blows through his shoe, tweaked his ankle or his knee. A knee sprain. Apparently, we don't know the timeline on how long he'll be out or what he'll miss or whatever. Not that it matters to us. And then, like I said, they played pretty well through the first half, them being Duke. It was 5 with about a minute and a half left in the first half, and then we finished the half really well, kind of sloppy, but we finished it well and got some buckets. So a 10-point lead at half, and then we came out in the second half, started off really quickly, pushed it up. Let's see if I can find our biggest lead, but I believe it was 22 actually. With about 16 minutes left in the second half, we had a 22-point lead. They led for absolutely 0 minutes. It was tied for the first 34 seconds until our first bucket. No lead changes, no leads for Duke. Number 1 team in the country, All-Americans at every position, 5-star guys, McDonald All-Americans, all the stuff we heard about Duke all year. And it was tied at 0-0 for 34 seconds. We scored off of Zion Williamson's turnover when he got hurt, and we led the entire way from there. And it was pretty awesome. And we didn't really shoot the ball. Nobody shot the ball from 3 well. They were 8 for 39 shooting the 3, 21%. We were 2 for 20, 10%. Again, lots of statistics there. It's the fewest amount of threes made since whatever victory, the lowest percentage on 3-pointers since, whatever. Yeah, it was not pretty. We didn't even hit one in the first half, I believe. Luke May hit one, somewhere in the second half, and then Kobe had one later in the game as they were making a run right in front of our bench. And that's the only 2 3-pointers we made. Again, Cam Johnson, big time night for him. 26 points, 11 for 17 shooting. And again, he did this without making a 3-pointer. He was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. Added 4 assists, 7 rebounds, couple of steals. Just phenomenal from our senior Cam Johnson. And then our other senior, Luke May, huge night as well. I don't really remember who's had better stats for us in Cameron than Luke May did last night. 30 points, 15 rebounds. Like I said, hit a 3, a couple of assists, a couple of steals. Did have a couple of turnovers, but not as bad as against Wake Forest. And yeah, like I said, Tyler Hansbrough, his freshman year, I think it was, he had 27 points, 12 rebounds, something like that. And I don't remember, again, a North Carolina player having better stats than Luke May did last night in Cameron. I think Luke May had better games against Duke. I think of that, was it 05 game where we clinched the ACC regular season where Marvin had the putback. But again, that was at the Smith Center, not in Cameron. So Garrison Brooks, also huge for us last night, 14 points, 8 rebounds, couple of steals as well. And then that's all we got in double figures, really. Kobe White had 9 points, really struggled last night, 5 rebounds, but had 3 assists to 6 turnovers. And he just not looked, sloppy turnovers, ugly turnovers, did not look good. He played 28 minutes, but it also left 12 minutes for Seventh Woods to come in and really show what he did. And I've heard some people say, obviously, Luke with 30 and 15, Cam with 26 points. But Seventh really could have been the MVP last night. Just 5 points, 3 assists, did have 3 turnovers as well, a couple of steals, had a rebound, but just the solid minutes that he provided was, it was just night and day from what we've been seeing from Seventh Woods, and it was much needed the way Kobe White was playing. He just came in and settled stuff, and it was great. Now we just need to get Seventh and Kobe to play like that consistently together. We've had obviously really good games from Kobe. Earlier in the season, we saw good, steadying play from Seventh as the backup. Now we need Kobe playing well, Seventh come in and be that steadying man or backup that he can be now that we've seen it more consistently. Brandon Robinson, 18 minutes. Didn't give us a lot statistically, 2 points, couple assists, did have 3 turnovers. That's the year. He didn't have any points, actually, 0 for 3 shooting, but he gave us 3 rebounds, 2 assists. I want to say he took a charge as well, but and I haven't mentioned Kenny either, just 2 points from Kenny, but 4 assists, no turnovers, 5 rebounds, and again, really good defense. He was on RJ Barrett most of the night, and RJ got his, got his points, he got his stats, but as far as it was mostly when he was either open 3 that he made or he got into the lane, and there wasn't much that Kenny was going to do at that point. So even with the 33 points that RJ got, Kenny did a really good job on him, and I think tired him out by the end. Trey Jones and RJ Barrett both played all 40 minutes. I think RJ was pretty tired by the end with Kenny chasing him around all night. So Nasir only 11 minutes. Like I said, 2 points, a 1 rebound, couple assists to 3 turnovers. But yeah, it just didn't look right. I don't know what it was. Obviously, maybe if he would have got more minutes, got into the flow, you don't know. But you also don't know how he's feeling with that ankle and stuff. So thankfully, we didn't need him and his athleticism tonight. I think, again, as Carolina fans, as Tar Heel fans, don't give up on Nasir yet. We're going to need him yet, I think. Maybe in the next Duke game or, at some point he's going to provide a really good spark for us off the bench. So don't give up on him. Team-wise, out-rebounded them 46-41. I think the stat everybody's really been pumping is we had like 62 points inside the paint, and we were killing them inside. And obviously they don't have an inside presence, even like they normally do. They don't usually have good big guys, but they usually at least have some big guys. And we could spread them out. Besides Bolden, they're just not very big. And we spread them out. We got some really easy looks. Got Luke going early and often, obviously. And yeah, we just 62 points, and some of that was fast break as well. We really got out and ran well. Obviously, Duke wanted to get out and run too, and plays more into our style. 15 turnovers, still a little bit too much for us. But again, Kobe had 6, which is way too much. You cut his in half, even to 3. We're down to 12 turnovers, which is about where we probably will be, for what's acceptable, I guess, at the pace that we play. 11, 12 turnovers, I think you can be okay with from us. Forced 20 turnovers in Duke. Like I said, out-rebounded them 46-41. Just 10 offensive rebounds for us. But we did shoot the ball pretty well, 45% the first half, and then pretty hot in the second half, 57% for 51 for the game. Obviously didn't shoot the 3 well. We mentioned that already, but we also didn't take 39 like they did. So, and we were, they had some open looks. We were not on Jack White real tight. He was clanking them. Trey Jones was 1 for 6. Let's see here. Cam was 4 for 12. Cam Reddish, 4 for 12 from 3, and he did end up with 27 points. But again, besides RJ Barrett's 33 points and Cam Reddish's 27, their next highest was 6. I know we said we had 30 and 26, but then we also had a 14. We had a 9, even on bad shooting from Kobe, and 7th even with 5. So 7th at 5 was our 5th leading scorer. 6 from Delorier from them was their 3rd. And obviously we take out Zion there. He probably would have got 20 or so as well. But yeah, I think it would have played a lot differently. And you can't just automatically say that they would have won if Zion played. So yeah, like I was saying, Cam Reddish 4 for 12 from 3, RJ 3 for 11 from 3, and then they had Trey Jones 1 for 6. He was 1 for 11 shooting overall, and then they had 3 guys didn't make any that actually shot him. Goldwire for them over 2, O'Connell, which was supposed to be their next shooter after Grayson, 0 for 3, Jack White 0 for 5, and again, Jack White's supposed to be this stretch 4 guy they bring in off the bench to sit in the corner and knock down threes, 0 for 5. So again, we've said it before, not counting on 1 or 2 guys. And that's the thing. Duke is going to say, oh, Zion was out, we lost. They still had, people are saying 2 of the top 4 picks. If you're taking out Zion, obviously with Zion, 3 of the top 4 picks, probably 4 lottery picks. And who do we got starting? We got Luke May, who, Duke wasn't recruiting him. Who was Duke recruiting off of our roster? Kobe and Nasir, probably the only 2 off our entire roster. They maybe 7th when he was coming out of high school. But we got Kenny Williams, who was going to go to VCU. We got Luke May, who would have been a walk-on if there wasn't a scholarship. We got Cam Johnson, who transferred from Pitt. We got Garrison Brooks, who was committed to Mississippi State. And then, yeah, like I said, we got Kobe White, Nasir Little. Brandon Robinson wasn't highly touted out of high school. It wasn't like Duke was after him. But yet they're all-star team, even without Zion, couldn't do it. And like I said, you can't blame it just on Zion being out. So awesome game for the Tar Heels. Obviously doesn't allow for a sweep from Duke this season, and obviously sets up at least the opportunity for us to win at home and sweep Duke this year, which would be this would be the year to do it. Again, with there's plenty of talk about how much tickets cost last night to get into Cameron, and Obama being there and all these celebrities being there. And we went in and took care of business. And like I said, probably not what you'd consider a blowout, but we definitely dominated them in that game. And it was good to do that. And not only that, an important game in the ACC standings. We now are 11-2 in the conference with 5 games remaining. We are tied with Virginia and Duke atop the ACC. Obviously, we'd have right now, we play Duke again, but we have the tiebreaker with them. Virginia holds it against us. And then right behind us, actually, good transition, we got Syracuse and Florida State. Right behind us, they're 9-4 in the conference, and that's the next 2 teams we got coming into the Smith Center to play the Tar Heels. After that, we got Louisville, Virginia Tech, both at 9-5, and then NC State's at 7-7, Clemson 5-8, and then we get kind of into those bottom-dwelling teams, which we don't see any more of. So like I said, we got 5 games left. We'll talk a little bit more about Florida State on Saturday, and then we got Syracuse. And then the following Tuesday, those are both at Chapel Hill, and then we go to Clemson, to Boston College. So I guess 1 bottom dweller there. And then at Duke, of course, Chapel Hill to round out the regular season. So, Clemson, let's see, what did I just say they were? I think they were under 500 in the conference, 5-8, but they're playing really well, tough team, and then we're at their place as well. So that's not going to be just a gimme. Boston College 4-9 in the conference at their place. Again, both of those games are going to be really important because we got to win those, not only to have a chance at the regular season title, but to stay in that top 4 and get the double bye. We're not, especially with Syracuse and Florida State, the 2 teams right behind us. We're not that far off of dropping into 5th, 6th place in the conference if we aren't careful. So some big games coming up, and obviously that starts on Saturday. Florida State's on CBS. It's a 3:45 Eastern tip, and I've said this on the past podcast. This is a game I will be at, so if you'll be there, let me know, and maybe we can meet up and meet each other in real life and all that good stuff. But obviously an important game. Florida State, like I said, right behind us, also on an 8-game winning streak. So they're playing really well. I've not seen them play in quite a while now, probably since non-conference play. I don't know if I've seen them play in the conference play, but obviously playing really well. So they obviously started 1-4 in the conference. Now they've strung off 8 in a row. So the good thing for us, it's at home. They're 5-3 on the road. Let's see, what's our record at home? 11-2. So that's kind of the benefit there, is that we get them at home, but not going to be an easy game. We don't necessarily play against Florida State all that well. And it's just a game we got to take care of business. A game we can win, but a game that if we're not careful, we can't let there be a letdown after the Duke game. We got to come out, we talked about Wake being a trap game before Duke. We can't let Florida State be kind of a letdown game after Duke. So got to take care of business there. And then, of course, we'll see the 2-3 zone in Syracuse coming to Chapel Hill on Tuesday. That's a 9 p.m. Eastern tip on Raycom. So it's a local channel, or ESPN3 or Watch ESPN, whatever they want to call it. That'll be a unique one playing against the zone. We got to knock down threes, but we can't fall in love with the 3. Florida State, I think we got to get them out and run, use our athleticism, get them playing our style. And then rebounding is going to be huge against Florida State. They got some tall guys, not necessarily big guys, but we're going to have to take care of the boards there. Maybe spread them out. Again, if we shoot the ball well, get them going, and then, of course, get to the basket as well. Like Cam Johnson showed last night. Like I said, didn't make a 3 at all. Ended up with 26 points of, and this is with a fast break. Right before half, he missed a dunk, fast break dunk. That obviously would have gave him 28, but ended out well for us. We got a turnover off it, and then a big dunk from Garrison to end the half, and it was kind of emphatic. So worked out, but again, all 2s from Cam Johnson and showing his versatility of getting to the rim. So that's kind of what we need to show, and that's what we got coming up here. I hope to hear from people that'll be at Florida State this weekend. Other than that, it looks like we got quite a bit of comments here to run through. You guys like beating Duke just as much as I do here, so let's run through these comments here before we wrap up the podcast. So Tar Heel Nation says, yes, I don't care what happened with Zion. Got 4 more 5-stars, and we got 3 and 4s. And we blew them out. Love my squad. Every time we beat Duke, it feels like we won the national championship to me. close. I don't think it feels like a national championship to me, but it is a great feeling. And even more to beat them at their place. Bryson Webster says, let's go Heels, baby. Hopefully we continue to take care of business against Florida State. Get ready for the rematch. Tar Heel Nation. Let's see. Bimmer Guy 09328 says, Luke May beasting last night. Yeah, definitely. He must have thought it was NC State the way he was playing last night. Tar Heel Nation says 7, and Brooks stepped it up. 2 for 20 for 3 and still won. And then Bimmer Guy says, of course, Duke fans saying because Zion went out, we still beat them on the road against Barrett, Reddish, and Jones. If Luke May keeps it up, we are a Final Four good team this season. Yeah. Like, again, we have to see the matchups in the tournament before we're going to make any kind of the predictions there. And then Bimmer Guy says, exactly, beat them in the paint. Bryson Webster says, imagine if Kobe played well and we had made threes. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. If we would have knocked down, of course, you can say the same for them. If they would have knocked down or got hot from the 3 or whatever, it would have been a different play. But yeah, if Kobe plays like normal, it would have been a blowout for sure. Bryson Webster also says the passing was beautiful. Even Jay Billis had to admit it. And let's see. And then Bimmer Guy says, oh yeah, if Kobe had his normal game, Zion or not, we win. I'm seeing maybe a sweep this season. Kobe will light it up in UNC. Yeah, hopefully he plays better in the Smith Center and after he gets the jitters out of the first game. Tar Heel Nation says, oh yeah, we partied all night on Franklin Street. That's obviously a goal. I'm getting a little bit too old for that stuff, but definitely something that I would love to do. And Bimmer Guy says, Nasir got to get his game together. I don't get it. If he were playing like he was supposed to, we'd be a championship team easy. I think so. I think that's kind of the X factor. If we can get him going, I think I'd be more willing to say we're a Final Four team. Tyler G says, Heel's not getting no credit. Shake my head. Bimmer Guy says, yeah, it's messed up. We kick their butts. I'll keep it PG here. At their place by 16. It's just Zion hype. Oh, well, we won, and they just can't take it. And then Andrew Brown says, well, they didn't really take down Zion. Cam played so well. Well, in one way or another, we did. We maybe didn't beat them with Zion, but we did beat Duke, and Zion's a part of the team. So I'm sticking with it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching and tuning in, for everybody listening. Appreciate you guys and the support, and keep sharing and liking and subscribing to the podcast. It definitely helps out. And like I said, I always like to talk Tar Heel basketball and college basketball with you guys. So if you're not connected with me on social media, make sure you do somewhere: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is. And let's unite Tar Heel Nation as we try to do on this podcast. But that's all I got for you guys this week. Signing off until next week after the Syracuse game. Until then, go Heels.